Alright, I'm going to be doing some videos here while I'm camping, and hopefully you can hear me pretty good. I've got my microphone on, and I feel so good just kicking back reading a book. Anyway, I'm still waiting for my eyes to kind of adjust from my interdimensional travels last night and with my teacher Al. So anyway, the native people call a prophecy if it comes true. So a lot of these, supposed prophecies that people are like passing around are not considered prophecy by them until they become fact, or they come true or anything like that. So I'm just gonna I have tried to work with so many people in alternative media. It's not even funny. I've even done my own radio shows. I've had 4 TV shows. All of them ended terribly. One was a studio TV show in studio with SingCat here in Nevada till they ran it into the ground. So we would go into studio, and my first show was called Bridgette, where I showcased local green business. And then I had a radio show on the BBS network called the Urban Farm Project, where I focused spirituality and farming kind of all together. And then I had 3 TV shows, one on CCN, one on Carrie Cassidy's TV channel, and then one on a Spiral network, which I only did 1 show. And all of them were like controlling and manipulating, and they don't really want to hear any real information, and they are stuck. I've even tried to reach out to Miles Johnson of Basis 47, and he kind of threw some accusations at me that I was trying to make him jump through some hoops and whatever else. I think that he has some issues. But this is the deal. So I've tried to work with these other people, tried to reach out, so that I could also kind of bridge my information, bridge it with other people's information, and try to put the puzzle together. By working together, we put the puzzle together. But none of these people really can work with other people. A lot of people can't work with other people. So they only get like a piece of the puzzle, not like they're not able, because they can't work with other people, to put the whole puzzle together. So I'm gaining more confidence and courage about getting out and sharing some of the information that I know. When I came into this world, between age 4 and 5, I had a reoccurring stigmata, burn stigmata on my feet, and they had, excuse me, a bug up my nose, and the symbols, just the same symbols on each foot, on the bottom of each foot, and it smelled like roses. And then after it was over, when I was 5, I started having star child abilities. And for a long time in my life, I was trying to figure out why I knew things, why I was conscious, why I was aware of things, why people were always trying to take from me, throw me under the bus, discredit me, trump on me, lie about me, intervene in my life, so that I would, stay in the box, keep everybody comfortable. Can't be your friend if you can't do like we're doing, selling ourselves out. So, and then I started realizing, like, I've read a lot of Dolores Canyon's work and some other people's work, that I was a bona fide star child. Then I started starting to remember a lot of things. And I just remember a lot of things through the course of my life after age 5. And one of them, I am going to disclose here, because I tried to reach out to Miles Johnson again to disclose this information, and it's not a prophecy. It's what I saw. So we'll have to wait to see if it comes to fulfillment. So when I was a little girl, they would show me video footage of the future from TV, documentaries, TV. I also see other things and I hear things. So they teach me in a lot of different ways, and they give me a lot of information that I already know. It's been kind of complicated because I thought the world was a certain way because I had all this information. And then over my life, I realized, oh, the general public doesn't have that information. The world doesn't have that information yet. They haven't even got to that point. And who knows? Maybe they won't get to a point in my lifetime where a lot of this stuff is found and told about. My grandmother on my mother's side, who pretty much raised me, was a bona fide prophet and exorcist. And she operated in the Pentecostal church. And she told me in my lifetime that all would be revealed. Like in my lifetime, it would be really a tough, lifetime for a lot of the people around me, because a lot of the things that have been hidden will show themselves. They will surface, she said. They will come up to the surface. That's the way she saw it. Like they were all underground or underwater, and they slowly sifted to the surface until you could see the horizon of all the things. So one of the things is that I was shown a documentary TV show when I was a little girl, maybe like 8 or 9, by, I don't even want to call them extraterrestrials. Let's just call them my family, or like the native people. They call them their ancestors. So we're just going to leave it at that. So instead of extraterrestrial beings. And there's also multi-dimensional, interdimensional. There's all kinds of words, but I think we should just call them our ancestors and our teachers and the beings who hold the knowledge and the wisdom. Yeah. Okay, so when I was a little girl, they showed me a documentary. They actually let me watch the whole thing. And it was a documentary that would play on here on Earth, and it would be in the future. So I suspect that at some point I was going to maybe see this documentary again. In the documentary, they showed a crew on a ship that found what they were let's just say they were going to call it Atlantis. I don't know. My ancestors and family, Star Family, did not say anything about it. They just let me watch the documentary. But in the documentary, they called it Atlantis, that they found Atlantis. And it was by the Bermuda Triangle. And they found an ancient city. But was most significant in this documentary that would be in the future, they showed a diver under the water that found this pyramid made of stone, but not a big pyramid. Maybe one big enough to stick 3 people in closely, maybe even 4 people closely. And that you could access it, I think, from underneath the pyramid, if I remember correctly. And in this, monolithic stone pyramid was 2 hands, like this, together. Let's see if I can do it. So 2 hands like this together in stone with a big crystal sphere inside the hands. And so on this documentary, they were showing it, right? So remember, I grew up thinking that they had already found Atlantis, that it was a pretty well-known thing. And much to my surprise in my lifetime watching, these programs where they think they found Atlantis, they might have found Atlantis, they don't know. I was but I thought this was already a done deal. They had already found it because my Star Family ancestors, let me watch it in a full documentary, how it would be played on Earth. So I just wanted to let you know that. And what they find with these crystals, that they start finding these little pyramids all over in what they're going to call Atlantis, that real found city of Atlantis. But like I said, I don't know if that's the truth about the city, but it's going to be significant. And then they start testing these crystals that they're finding inside. And they're going to be huge activation crystals. And these crystals are going to have immense, immense, immense power. Huge power. And I think that is going to be the moment, whether we destroy ourselves off the planet or we come into alignment with the new reality. So we will be able to utilize those stones for healing the planet. But, you know, we can do all that stuff now. You know, the native people have ceremonies. These ceremonies are technologies. You are making machines, activating machines that boost and transmit energy without effort through the ceremonies. And you leave the invisible machines where they're at to continue to work, to create energies and vortexes, to release energies in the area, release the negative imprints that have been left there, the trespasses. So, you know, start working on healing Earth now. Go out, touch the trees. The trees miss you. The trees miss us a lot. So, anyway, that's the story of Atlantis. And again, I'm just having a lot of interdimensional stuff going on the last couple of days. So I have freaky eyes, and no, I'm not reptilian. So I'm Star Child that was sent here, and now I'm an adult in the second wave, and getting courageous to start talking to people about the things that I know, and the things that I've seen and witnessed, and my own journey. So hopefully these videos will help people in the future. And I think I'm kind of done trying to work with a lot of people. So to try to get my information out. So I'm going to get my information out myself. So I'm going to have courage and not feel so out there, you know, trying to my whole life I was trained to not talk to people or the general public, and just to kind of pretend I was human, you know what I mean, like, or having the human experience and the incarnation experience, and that I wasn't awake and that I wasn't aware. So my whole life I had to kind of stuff myself in a box and monitor everything I've done and said and acted, and those days are over. And yeah, the boxing gloves are coming off. All right, hopefully that helps. And I just wanted to get that information out there about when they do find Atlantis and what it'll look like. And most people will see it on a documentary, and it's by the Bermuda Triangle, and they're going to find these megalithic stone pyramids that are not very big, with like hands in them, holding big round crystals and spheres, and yeah, that have been generating a lot of power underneath the ocean. And I think, you know, that maybe that's why the Bermuda Triangle has such weird energy, is because of these crystal megalithic, you know, buildings that have these crystals in it, that'll be, you know, basically when the time is right. And the reason why people haven't found it is because they can't see them. They can't see them yet because they're not conscious enough to see them, even though they're right there. And you know what? You can't pick these things up by photograph or anything else until there's enough mass consciousness to see them. You know, the star beings or star families and all these people would not give us any kind of power to just F up this world any worse than it already is. You know, with power, you must, you know, do your work and get your, you know, it's all about your personal work, and getting your work done and getting to the other side so that you can activate your own power or your own energy. whether it's to heal or to get that great job or find your passion or love more or whatever else it's going to be. You know, you have to get to the other side of that. And we don't have 51% populace yet. We don't have the conscious people or the awareness. And even conscious people are not that conscious. You know, they got to get out of the system and do more personal work. So anyway, keep working for the good. And love and light. This is Bridgette Lynn Dolgoff on Consciousness of Economics and the Urban Farm Project, YouTube channel. Bye!